There we go. See, I even got to switch real quick there, Fred, so nobody could say, man, you are ugly. And it's just, oh, no, you're on the right side, and you're correct on that.
Oh, yes, sir. What's going on?
How you doing there, shipmate? I am actually little bit behind because my computer is slow. So as we go through a bunch of things, I want to say welcome aboard to the Elite Superfan Show. We are doing playoff pushes. And as you can see, I even dressed up tonight because I wanted to make sure that if we had some of our fans on that took the time to dress out, I didn't want them saying, well, that SOB doesn't have to dress out. So I did. I actually put on my garb for everybody, and it's great seeing everybody here. How you doing there, Fred?
Doing great. A little nervous, but I'm good.
Well, if you're nervous, boy, I tell you, if we get through this and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful show. But
yeah. I'm not worried about the show. I'm worried about tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, see, my team's out of it. I don't have nothing to be worried about other than making sure that this show production is good to go.
Yeah, I watched tape last night till like 3 a.m. just cause.
Okay, do they pay you for that?
No, I did it on my own. That was me, just breaking stuff down, just looking through stuff.
Okay, well, good. When we get to the Bills game, then I will definitely have some expert analysis, and you will shine. And I can't wait to go into that. But before we go into the games, like I said, let's go around the NFL with some words, news, and all the good things that's best from Fred Kilmartin, everybody here. And while you're doing that, hopefully I'll be able to share this up. Go ahead, shipmate. Go on.
Yeah, the first thing that popped up in the news is Deshaun Watson is actually MIA. But they hired a new general manager, Nick Akrap. But the rumor was, I guess, that Cal McNair had told Watson that he could have some input on hiring the new general manager. But of course, they didn't allow him to do that. So he hasn't been. No one's been heard from him. They haven't talked to him. The owner, nobody's talked to him. They don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. So that's kind of something to be keep tabs on because maybe he'll be wanting to get traded or something. So, but it's interesting.
I actually heard about that as well, and because people were saying, "Hey, Captain, do you want Deshaun Watson on your team?" And I'm like, well, I mean, obviously, if we get within the parameters of cap hits, because you can't have Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota, then it becomes, who do you want on your team and who do you want to pay for? But if it comes down to me, I am a firm believer that between the running and the throwing styles of Deshaun Watson, I would definitely want him on my team. It's it's got to figuring out who you got to pay for and why, and who's
the thing with the Houston Texans is the fact is that they don't really have any first and second draft picks this year. So even though they had just signed a GM, they're still looking for a head coach, but with no first or second draft pick, and plus they're cap strapped. So that's not a really enticing job right now for a new head coach. But there are a couple of candidates. I guess Brian Daboll is one of them, Jim Caldwell, and Joe Brady, the offensive OC for the Panthers. Those are the top candidates right now, but that's not really a job that is like, I got to have it because, I mean, they got a franchise quarterback, a couple pieces on the offense, but as far as trying to build around this team, they don't really have the draft assets or the cash to do that. So
I mean, of those people that you were talking about, who do you think is going to wind up with the Texans? With the Texans, and just out of curiosity.
I mean, it's really tough, but maybe Brady from Panthers, the offensive coordinator from over there, maybe ends up there. But maybe Jim Caldwell takes a shot because, he knows how to run a team. He knows how to build a team and get it back to the playoffs. So maybe Caldwell's the guy for that job. And then you have Brian Daboll in the mix too. So I don't know if Brian Daboll would be wanting to leave a nice cushiony job that he has now to go to a team that's cap strapped and has no first or second round picks in the draft. So it's kind of a tough job right there. Just this year alone, if you had to take that position. Okay.
What's your next blow your mind article, shipmate? I'm all ears.
The other one that I want to bring up was, Katie Sowers, she was the first female coach to make it to the Super Bowl. She will be leaving the 49ers. She won't be back with them. As you know, she was an assistant offensive coach, and she worked with the wide receivers with Wes Welker. She wasn't the only first coach that woman coach in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills actually had one in 2016, Kathleen Smith. But Sowers is going to go on. She wants to have a bigger role. So maybe she's looking for a head coaching job. So that'd be interesting too.
A head coaching job.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very interesting.
Now that's the young lady that was on the commercial, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes. Yep. For the 49ers. Yeah, she was the first ever assistant coach.
Got her stuff in one sock. I will give her that.
Right. Yeah, she's very knowledgeable to the game. So we wish her good luck. I mean, that'd be interesting. The first woman coach, in the NFL. So head coach.
Yeah.
So. But then I wanted to touch base on a little bit of these. We have 6 teams right now that are looking for head coaches: Atlantic Falcons, Detroit Lions, New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Los Angeles Chargers. And they've already begun looking for their coaches. I put them in order here, like the worst, I guess, to the top, from the bottom to the top. But I mean, Atlanta Falcons, they have they got a bunch of draft picks for 2021, but they don't have no cap space either, I guess. So they're strapped. Plus, they got an old quarterback now that he's still under contract. If you were trying to get rid of him, I think he's like $50 million in dead cap, so they couldn't even trade. So if you're looking to be the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, you're going to have a job too. A couple top candidates right now are Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs, Robert Saleh from the 49ers, and Rasheem Morris, who is actually the intern head coach right now. So,
yeah, Raheem Morris did a bang-up job for the Falcons at the end of the season. Not so great when he was down here in Tampa, but he might become a DC somewhere. So we'll see where Raheem Morris winds up as well. Also, Gus Bradley, who I know you're pretty familiar with, was also interviewed for the Raiders job as well. So we got a bunch of people that are going up for head coaching jobs, and then for folks that already have their spots as head coaches, sometimes that there's offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators that need to be hired. There's going to be a lot of movement around the NFL.
Yeah, then you got the Detroit Lions. I mean, they're another team. You don't know what are they going to do with Matthew Stafford. How are they going to fix their defense? So they're again. I don't know if they're looking to bring in another defensive-minded head coach, or maybe offensive-minded head coach this time. But another name that's popping up for the Detroit Lions is Marvin Lewis. And Marvin Lewis actually was getting called to get interviewed for the Jets as well. And the Jets are another team themselves. I mean, they're probably going to have the number. Well, they will have the number 2 draft pick in the upcoming draft. Are they going to stay with Sam Darnold? Are they going to move on with him? I mean, they know that Lawrence probably won't be there. Are they going to go after Justin Fields? And then they got some other names, the candidates. Another one that stands out is Arthur Smith. His name came out. He was the offensive coordinator he's the offensive coordinator for the Titans. And then Arelas from the Colts. His name also popped up, the ties to the Jets. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Jets are going to do too, And if they looking for the right head coach to come in there, they already possibly have a franchise quarterback. They just got to surround the kid with weapons, I feel.
I think so. I think so for sure. Is that your last NFL note?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's pretty much all I have now.
Okay, well then, before I forget again, let's move on to get to do our sponsors. Want to make sure that we get that done first, and I got all of them right now. So go ahead and pack them up, and you start, and I'll finish.
Yeah, Soulmate Performance Socks. That's a great company. It's they do every NFL team, any team that you want, all 32, whether a Bills fan, Raiders fan, whatever. They do a heck of a job. These are nice socks, and down here right now, well, up here, I'm sorry, it's 28 degrees, so you never have more than one pair of socks. So definitely check these guys out. Down
in Florida, if you have one pair of socks on, you probably have one too many. But that's just me.
That's just you guys. Yeah, Dasco Toys. We know what these guys are. They make the figurines, and if you're a super fan, whether you're not a super fan or you have a friend who's a super fan or a family member, these are great. They're figurines. They'll make them custom right to you. They'll look just like you. Well, sometimes they look a little bit better than you, but for the most part, that's Tosco Toys, and you can find their link at the Elite Superfan group and on the page.
Yeah, definitely check out Tosco Toys. They even make old nasty crotchety bastards look okay. All right, let's go to this.
Yeah, then that's seasonal sports. That's where actually Fred and his family are dealing right now with Corona, so the COVID right now. So, but they are the ones that are designing the anti-bullying T-shirts. They do screen printing and embroidery and vinyl. They do a great job. Family owned and operated. Both the husband and wife actually work the business. They're there. They put in many hours. But if you need anything done, feel free to hit them up. They're very reasonable, and they do a great job.
Okay. I wish my computer was faster as I'm trying to do two things at once.
I can just pop about a little bit about Ken Newton Studios. Yeah. The guy does a great job.
Well, I got it done this week.
Got it, yeah. Oh, I mean, Ken's a great guy. I know Ken personally. He does a lot of the custom paintings for the football players, and he gives them to them. The players love them. He actually was doing some of the custom cleats this year for the players. He did Harrison Phillips. But now he's also doing custom football. And it's not just for Bills fans. I don't want everybody to think because he's from Buffalo. He can do any custom football you want. You can put all your patches and paint them right on there for you. He does a great job. So that's Ken Newton Studios, and he's right out of Buffalo.
Okay. And next, I believe, is – let me get this
yours.
Ready. Yeah, these are mine. Okay. Come on. Oh, I know why.
See, this is why we can't have nice things.
There it is. Yeah. And what we see, there's only so much I can do. Okay, because I got it where we're there. That, and I'll show the advertiser in a minute, but that very nice looking cartoon that makes me look a hell of a lot nicer than I am is a Bocadilla. And now that you see what can be done with you, there we'll go to the sponsors. Bocadillos, be a part of the Bocadilla universe. We're hopefully going to have the man behind all of this on upcoming. But again, get yourself a cartoon character. Make yourself look a lot nicer and less scarier than you are in real life. Make sure you are part of the Bocadilla universe. Then we have this. Retired Players Congress, folks, they support people, the players of old that didn't get a lot of money back in the day, and they got a lot of great things. This is actually a T-shirt, and I love the caption. It says, "When football was football." Make sure you go to playerscongress.com, support them. They support the players, and it's not just NFL. They got Major League products, and I think they have NBA products, but go to playerscongress.com and check them out and support the folks of old. And then this is another great one. Jerry Robinson, president of Shoes for Kids, great guy, a Philadelphia Eagle, a Raider, but also the president board of directors. Go to shoesforkids.com and lightly used shoes. Go to the website, see how you can help out. Send them some money, send them some shoes. Make sure the kids are taken care of this year. Go back to where we were.
Those are all our sponsors. We appreciate our sponsors for being there for us. We appreciate it.
There you go. And without further ado, and for our second segment, and this is a wonderful segment that we are going to be doing, a lot of talk around the NFL this week was what happened the other night, the Sunday, between, and I'll give everybody that was going on. It was talking about how, the Cowboys did this and the Giants did that, and the Giants beat the Cowboys, and they were waiting on the Eagles to do their job. And, it was an entirely unique situation. So the first thing we are going to do, and I'm very happy to have them on board the galleon here, is Philly sports guy and license plate guy. Gentlemen, again, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you waiting backstage saying, "Jay, shut up and let's go on the show so we can get our views across." Again, gentlemen, I given you the setup, and it came down to this. The Giants did their job. They won their game, okay? Then it was waiting on Philly. And I'm just going to leave it at that because anything more is words out of my mouth that you don't need to hear from. So, Joe, I tell you what, since you guys won the game, I'm going to start with you, my friend. Have at it.
All right. How much time we got?
Well,
I don't. Well, you know what? To be honest with you guys, half the show is taken up by the intro anyway. Cut the damn song already. Cut it in half at least.
it's only 2 minutes long.
No way. We're all falling asleep. No. Listen. First of all, I thank you for having us. I love it. This is excellent, especially when you get everybody together, even Eagle fans and Giant fans together. But again, thank you for this. Look, at the end of the day, nobody has anybody to blame but 6 wins. Okay, so let's get that up and running. Yes, the Giants won the last game. It really doesn't mean anything if you can't take care of business yourself. So we could sit here and bitch and moan about the Eagles' loss. At the end of the day, you can't blame anybody. However, with that said, I think it was an absolute disaster what Peterson did in my book. But of course, I'm sure Philly sports guy won't, will completely disagree. I just don't see. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that tanking doesn't exist because we know it does.
Yeah.
Blatant tanking doesn't exist, but now we know it does. So if you're going to seriously sit there and say you didn't tank from 9 to 6, I'm calling a bluff. However, do I believe in tanking? If I'm sitting on top of a division or the draft, like the New York Jets were, and I know that I need a franchise quarterback with 1 or 2 games to go in a season, yeah, I'm pulling somewhat of a tank. It's very easy to have made my quarterback the starting quarterback days before the game, not minutes before the game ends, not a quarter before the game ends with a shot to win that game. You don't care what he does in that game. You don't need a shot to look at him because you need to look at Hurts.
Right.
You need to look at Hurts for the rest of that game. With that said, the Eagles might have pulled the wool over all of our eyes because the Eagles did not go from 9 to 6 for a wide receiver again. They went from 9 to 6 because I believe they're going after a quarterback. That's just me. So, the bottom line, Giants did their job. Not really. The Eagles did not. I think it was an absolute terrible display. And I don't care what anybody says. All the talk a couple of days after the talk after the game and 1 day after the game, they just don't respect the dude. I don't know how he could still coach there. Philly, take it over, baby.
Philly sports guy, let's hear from you, my friend, because I know you have nothing to say on the subject.
Well, I tell you. At first, I want to thank you for having me back on, and it is a pleasure to meet you, license plate guy. I've only ever heard so many things about you. It's good to finally put an actual face to the stories. That being said, do you need a tissue? Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug? Because I tell you that those tears have been flowing for a while, and I understand. Hey, listen, all you guys had to do was score a couple of more points in any one of the 6 games that you had that could have done that. Hey, you guys went 1-3 in December. All you had to do was go 2-2, and you guys would have won the division. So it's all of that being said. I mean, he announced that he was going to play both quarterbacks. He announced it on Tuesday when he says, hey, Sudfeld's going to get some playing time. Now, the fact that Sudfeld played so poorly was embarrassing. That became embarrassing. That's what made the issue the issue. If Sudfeld went in there and actually looked like an NFL quarterback, it would have been a different story. But he didn't. He didn't,
No.
and that was really the issue. I feel like that there was a few things that happened really badly with this. It put a lot of egg on the NFL's face, specifically because the moment that the Dallas Cowboys beat us, that became a preseason game for us. And yes, gaining three spots in the draft is the equivalent at that spot is the equivalent of a 3rd round pick. So I understand. I wanted to lose that game. Now, did you want to lose it with him throwing an interception, fumbling the ball, looking like it was inept, looking like he couldn't even play in the XFL?
Well, the fact is that Pedersen went right on record saying that he never even had first snaps with the first team.
That's not true. That's what
the rumor was.
He took first team snaps all week long. So he got about 30% of the snaps with the first team that week. So it was, and they had spoken about this. Wentz wasn't going to play. I mean, there was an organizational decision to keep all those guys out and to do all that. Now, it's not my fault that Washington isn't so great.
And hold on, you are absolutely correct about they did announce that Sudfeld was going to play, whatever his name is, that he was going to play, because I did read a tweet, and I think the tweet was Mike Garafolo, but it was kind of like, if there is a situation, they're going to put him in. I guess that situation was late in the 4th.
Yeah, there was a situation. There's called let's tank for a better pick and screw the Giants.
And let him finish, though. He's still on a roll. Go ahead, man.
But all that being said, he, like I said, he was an embarrassment to the team. Yeah. It was an embarrassment to the team, and really it became an embarrassment to the NFL because now they flexed this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, truth of the matter is that first off, Hurts wasn't playing so good either. You know what I mean?
No, but Hurts is a weapon. Any quarterback that could take off with his feet is a weapon no matter what. As soon as that other quarterback came in, it was ears pinned back.
Wow.
And in the NFL, the NFL does have a tank season. Okay, they teams do it, but they don't come right out.
Not blatantly.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't come right out and do it. And sometimes, like the New England Patriots, you look at it. Maybe Belichick picked up Cam because he wanted to tank this year. Get a little bit more draft stock. You think about how many years the Patriots were picking number 32 in the draft. Yeah. And so now they finally get a mid.
You can pick 32 every year if you freaking cheat every year. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
knew that. I'm just saying that, realistically, the NFL does have a tank season, but they don't blatantly come out and show your hand like this.
It sucks so bad to have this conversation because he's right. At the end of the day, the East sucked. All we got to do is win one more game, and so we're sitting here talking about game 256. We should have been talking about game 6, 7, 8.
Right. Yep. You're absolutely right. I mean, but at the same time, it's the NFL. It's a division game. That's how you're looking at it. It's a rivalry. Hey, what did you do to me? Come on, what did I do to you?
I wonder how much play this would have gotten if the game was played at the same time, or the game was played at 1 of 4 and never got flexed. I wonder if it wasn't where the whole nation had to see it. You know what I mean? I wonder if we would even be on it right now,
Yeah, probably would never have known that. What's funny is that Saquon Barkley, he tweeted, can someone please explain to me what happened? And then Eli Manning said, this is why we don't like the Eagles.
And what was, go ahead, Philly, tell them what came next.
Well, Fletcher Cox says, well, we don't like you either.
That's right. That's right. And there lies our division.
Now I think Eli Manning's coming back.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though.
The worst part about it is they won't mind Eli coming back. They killed us for 10 years with him.
I miss Eli.
I know.
Mr. Personality, Eli Manning.
But don't worry. You got another one with Daniel Jones.
It's one thing as a fan to have certain rivalries, but the teams themselves, when you talk to Michael Strahan, even Michael Strahan still hates the Eagles. You know what I mean? He was like that. So and that's the way that these teams are. Like we think, like I know that a lot of Philadelphia fans like to believe that Dallas is the big rivalry. The truth of the matter is that most of these players have more of a disdain for New York than they do for Dallas. It's probably very similar, but I know that New York was always the big rivalry. And that's why over the years, we have gotten a much better record against New York than we do against Dallas.
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt. That's really funny that you say that, because I thought everybody in the world hated Dallas the most.
Well, they do.
But that's exactly it. But like when you're with everybody else, everybody's the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like the actual rivalry, I mean, the second game that the Eagles ever played in their history was against the New York Giants. You know what I mean?
You know, I really love that you brought up Strahan. I love that you brought up how the players still hate each other, because literally yesterday, Rich Seubert, the guard for the Giants, came over. Now these guys signed my wall, right?
That's saw this.
Seubert wrote. Can you see it? Rich Seubert, Super Bowl 42 champs. Fuck Philly. Pardon my language. But the point is,
we could have read it.
You nailed it. You nailed it, because I think that no matter how much we hate Dallas, I think that this, because of what happened last Sunday, believe it or not, I think our battles, our rivals became that much more heated. And that's a good thing on the field. That's a good thing.
Gentlemen,
you just threw a couple logs on the fire. It's gonna be interesting. Watch Eagles Giants first game, week 1, 2021.
Yeah, Sunday night football. Let's
Sunday
go!
night football.
Okay. First, guys, I would love to do this, but we actually got playoff games, and my team's not in it, and your team's not in it, and your team's not in it. There's only one bastard whose team is in it.
Big Fred.
But again,
and that's because Brady went to Tampa.
Our schedule was easy.
I will say that because you guys are not going away, we're going to have you come back in and help us out tonight, because it's so enjoyable having you on here again. I love having you here, and I appreciate you with the banner that you have. You're not going away unless you get tired, because I know you bastards are old like me. But hopefully we can have you hang out for a little bit. And if you go away, I understand it. But before you do, thank you for being here with the second segment.
Appreciate it.
Hey, honestly, again, thanks for having us back again. Philly Sports Guy, you're the man. And if we're around, we're around. We'll go at it again later. But yeah, go talk your stupid playoffs.
Playoffs.
Hey, and just so you guys know, you played a game to win the game.
That's right. All right, we'll see you guys at 1 a.m.
Like the Bills never threw a game before in their lives.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe they had
wide right.
Get
out of here.
All right, guys. I will have you come in as we need you. Be ready, and thanks again.
No doubt.
I like to do this so I can kick my friends off backstage as well. So we got. So again, thanks again there, Jamie, aka Philly Sports Guy, Joe, license plate guy. You're going to be here for a while until you're not here. And then I said the show's too long. But thanks again. We'll get you guys back in just a little bit.
No doubt.
All right. And not any particular order. There we go. We are going to go to the playoffs. Let me show this. And there we go. We're actually going to talk about some playoffs. And we're going to start with this game right here. Okay. The first game of the playoffs is the Saturday game at 105. 105. Okay. And on this game, let me see who I got here. Because I got lots of people that I need to make sure that I got here. I don't have a Ram, unfortunately.
You mean Colts?
Or sorry, I don't have a Colt. But I do have. Oh wow! Did he leave?
Bill Show.
Wow. We might have you talking, Fred. But I tell you what else we're gonna have.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in another one of our guests tonight.
Hey.
And we got Cutie Hawk, Crystal Page here, And I thank you for being here as well. We got lots of surprises. Like the one surprise is we lost our Bills fan, but we do got Fred. So Fred, you might have to do a dual row.
That's fine. I'm all right with that.
A dual role. Okay. And MegaHawk, don't worry. MegaHawk is backstage. I want to make sure you are ready. Don't worry. Crystal is she's not representing Seattle tonight. She's representing sports fans in general. So thanks again, Crystal, for being here as well. So
you're welcome.
The first game that we have is we have the Colts, and you can see the logos.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna bring Crystal up here because I like to have a good looking lady right next to me. Okay.
Think it helps?
Hey, well, I run the board, so yes, it does. Okay. I look a lot handsomer with a good looking lady beside me. Okay?
Yeah.
I got you.
There you go. So we do have the Colts and the and I'm going to get some of these comments up because we'll do that. Fred, you're not my co-host right now. Okay, yeah. You got okay. Let me see who else. Boy, there's a lot of. I got to go and get these all in. Colts at the Bills. I don't have a Colt fan. Crystal, do you? I mean, you even want to talk about anything about the Colts that you might want to talk? I mean, I'm leaving it up to you. And if I'm putting you on the spot, I apologize.
I mean, is there really?
Buffalo Shouts is ready.
Right. I mean, is there really anything to talk about with the Colts? I mean, they kind of backweighed their way into the playoffs in the first place. So.
Well, I mean, they still have 11. They have 11 wins this year. So, I mean, and they played in a tough division. I mean, they lost one game, and that one game was to the lonely Jags. They got they got some weapons over there. I mean, you got to look at, they got Jonathan Taylor, the rookie, with 1,100 yards rushing. And then you look at Ty Hilton, Pittman. They got a lot of weapons on that side. And then you got to look at their defense. Their defense with Buckner, they have a really good defense. Their only weak thing on the defense is probably their secondary. But they have a good run defense, and they're averaging. They're ranked second in the rush stopping the run. They're only giving up 90 yards a game, which the Bills haven't really run that much. I think we've only had one game this year where we ran for 180. But with their secondary being the way it is, and they don't really have an edge rushers to help complement Buckner. So if they can't get pressure on Josh Allen, Josh Allen probably going to pick this team apart.
Well, and that's where my thought process is with it. Is I just think they're not going to be able to contain Josh Allen, and
they score a lot of points in the first quarter, as does the Bills. The Bills have scored 90 points, in the first quarters alone. So what Bills are probably planning on doing is try to take them out of their game plan, which is run the ball.
Well, I tell you what, the Colts have a fantastic defense this year. And that's going to be the way that they are going to be able to possibly get this upset in Buffalo. Now, because you're up in New York there, Fred. What's the temperature set for tomorrow?
Cloudy, 30 degrees, a little bit of wind.
Okay, so it's only cloudy. It's not a snowstorm.
Well, you know what? You can't really predict when lake effect's going to come around. It just, like the Colts game back in 2017, there wasn't even snow in the forecast, but yet that turned into a snow game.
Okay.
So you don't know which way the wind's going to blow up there. They have swirling winds coming off the lake. I mean, you could get an inch, you could get a dusting, or 6 feet.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to comment on the 6 feet now. I'm also making sure that if we do have our extra Buffalo guy come in, I will kick you back up the moderator, Fred. But until then, we got that. Now, Crystal, I got to ask, and I got to show this as well, because this is a very unique comment, and it's true. The Colts' weakness is the quarterback. And you know that Philip Rivers, and I've been saying this for weeks, I said, Philip, you need to retire and spend some time with your 25 kids.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the Colts are winning despite Philip Rivers. They got a fantastic running attack with Taylor, the kid out of Wisconsin. They have a very good defense. And I tell you, I mean, honestly, I am picking a Bills win here. but it might not be that walkover that you're saying it's going to be. And Crystal, I know that you can attest to the fact that you said, the Colts kind of walked into the playoffs, but the fact is they got a ticket to the dance and they're going to dance.
They'll dance. They will dance, but I can't see them containing Josh Allen.
The thing is that they got in because we beat Miami, so we helped them. I know. Yeah.
That's why I think that they do have some weapons, but they really backdoored their way in.
And Old Man Rivers, he actually threw for 4,100 yards this year, but he is a pure pocket passer. He's not mobile at all. So if you can knock him off his spot, put some hits on him, you're going to frustrate him. He always gets frustrated, and that's when he's going to make some bad plays. He always
gets frustrated.
Yeah, and the thing is that they love their screen games. They use the tight ends a lot, and most of his passes are to running backs. So that's why Hines has 65 receptions this year, just because they like to use their running backs. So as long as the Bills focus on those screens and everyone puts a head on the ball carrier, we're going to contain that, and we got to stop the run.
Got to stop the run. They got to stop the run. I don't know. Is Diggs going to play? Because the last time I heard, he is questionable. So
Diggs is playing. He practiced. So did Cole Beasley practice. We actually activated Duke Williams. You still got Gabriel Davis. You still got John Brown. You still got Dawson Knox. Then you throw in Moss. You throw in Singletary. I mean, there's a lot of weapons on this offense. There really is. And then what a lot of people are not giving credit to is our offensive line. The offensive line has kept Josh Allen upright all year. And you think about some of these defenses that we faced. We faced the Rams, the 49ers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Patriots twice, the Jets, the Miami #1 ranked defense. So
you guys are a better team. You played a lot tougher of opponents during the season. I think you are going in more prepared, even though you guys haven't been to the playoffs since 1996?
No, last year.
Oh, last year? Okay.
This is the third time in 4 years that the Bills have been in the playoffs. Yes.
Well, it's easy to forget that, Crystal, and I admit that because honestly,
we haven't won it.
Before they got better, and again, I know I'm walking into a joke on this one. Okay, 2016, I get it. But until they started getting that coaching staff together, the Bills were an afterthought for the playoffs. So I understand why you forgot as well. But because I kind of forgot as well. Come on, I want to hear it, Fred.
What I was going to say is that the Bills have not won a playoff game since 1995. The last playoff games that the Bills have won was against the Miami Dolphins, and that's why it's such a big thing because it's been 25 years since we actually won the AFC East division, which we used to own.
I was close. Close. You guys have won a playoff game.
But we have not won one. We were in the playoffs in 2017, and we were in the playoffs last year and lost to Houston. The last I can't say 4 losses, but the last 4 playoff games that we have faced have all been from the AFC South.
Okay. Well, you got you got another AFC South game. So,
yes.
Fred, Bills win by how much?
I actually predicted the score last night on a podcast to be 31-24.
Okay. Crystal, representing Indy, and thank you for being. You're wonderful. I just threw it to her, and she's a champ.
I know. I was totally not prepared for that one, but
well, no, you'll be better when we come to the NFC as well. And you said it yourself. You think that that they're gonna win by how much?
I'll probably go with at least by a two touchdown, at least by 14 points.
Okay. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say, Jamie, I'm going to kick you out for a minute because I got the Bills guy that can't come in. I want to try to get him in here. Okay, Jamie. So come back in a little bit. Okay. I'm removing you.
Bye.
Okay. There you go. Hey, try to have the Buffalo guy come back. Because I was told that there's enough room. I know what it was. There's not enough room.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's not enough room.
I mean, the Bills are. You guys are on fire right now.
I hope. I'm nervous though. It's still,
I
we
mean,
still got to play the game, you know. And
playoffs are
the only nervous part
playoffs are
for
always
me,
nervous.
because for me, I've been a Bills fan since '85, and the last 4 playoff games have been on Saturdays, and we've lost. So I'm very optimistic. I hope my team can come out and do it, but until they do it, I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the ride.
Okay. Tiffany, if you're watching, I made a space for him. I have Jamie out, and I know that he'll come back. But I guess hopefully I get Jamie back too, because he's on for the next segment. What I'll do is, Crystal, I'm gonna let you go, and then I want you to come back in a little bit.
I'll come back.
And try and if you get me on Facebook and send it, or if you're watching the show, said hey, you know, you can do in the comments, say I'm ready to come back, do that, and we'll do that. And somebody get a hold of Jamie so Jamie can come back in as well. And
I'll text him.
Yeah, you text him. So there you go. And Crystal, thanks again.
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yeah, you'll see me in a little bit. All right, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Again, and now I figured out that there's only so many places here. Okay.
Right.
So let's go to we'll get the rest of these comments in. And Ed Winchell says Colt. Oh, I guess that's $20. They're betting cupcakes. Because I told him the other day I don't bet money. I can only bet cupcakes.
What's that?
So a cupcake is, you know, a cupcake, you know.
Yeah.
There we go. And so we got 50 cupcakes by Mike Dornan. All right. We're going to go to the next game. Let me go to what's up on the screen.
Rams Seahawks.
Okay. See, and I am prepared. There you go. See, look at that. I even have graphics for every one of them.
Nice.
There you go. So Rams Seahawks. We are going to be joined by MegaHawk. And because I kicked him out undutifully, I'm bringing Jamie back, and I'm also bringing back Joe because I can. Okay? Because you guys have worked well together. So I'm going to do this. Somebody's got to speak for the Rams. I guess, Joe, can you speak to the Rams? Because you're actually over their logo.
Oh, I'm over there. Then I guess I got picked for the Rams.
You got picked for the Rams, and I'm going to move Philly Sports Guy up. I'm trying to anyway. It won't let me move him. There we go. Hang on a second here. It won't let. There you go. See MegaHawk is over his Seahawk. Philly Sports Guy, you get to tee off again and be nice. Remember, Joe's representing the Rams. MegaHawk, sir, thank you for coming in here.
Yes,
Let me hear a little bit about you, sir. We haven't had you on before.
Well, I grew up in the Seattle area, so I've been a Seahawks fan I can't say my entire life, because I was born in an ugly little city in Texas called Dallas.
Oh.
And yeah, but I grew up in Seattle. I actually had a tryout with the Seahawks back in 1990. Nothing came of it, but you know, it didn't kill my love of the team. So I am a Seahawks fan through and through. You know, I got the name MegaHawk because I'm 6'6" and 330 pounds. So
6'6" and 330.
I'm a large individual.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find a spot for you?
He's a little teddy bear. He's fine.
They at the time they said I was too raw, and they when I tried out for them, they hadn't set up practice squads yet. They were still on taxi squads and things like that.
Okay.
So they didn't have a spot for me.
So you're showing your age there if you're saying that they didn't even have practice squads there. I'm not going to say how old you are, but we're probably within spitting distance.
Yeah, I think we're probably pretty close.
All right. LA Rams guys, see LPG. There's an L in there, so that's one of the reasons why it's just a natural thing. The Rams are coming off where they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They had a crappy year last year, but there is a resurgence this year. Mr. LPG representing the Rams. What is up with your resurgence, and how can you defeat? And remember, this is the third time you're playing them this year.
Correct.
You're playing them in Seattle, where you didn't have a good game the last time you played them. But what makes you think that you can handle it this time, sir? Because I know you know everything about the Rams.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you about it. So, can't wait for the Rams to take. Now, listen, bottom line, Aaron Donald is pissed off. Okay, he definitely wants a shot at Russell Wilson. The biggest question we have in this game is Goff going to be under center because he hurt his thumb. Okay, and he didn't get to play or the fourth quarter of the Seahawks game, right? Didn't he hurt it in your game?
It was the second half. He didn't play much in the second half at all.
Right, he hurt it late. I think the Rams lost 20-9 or something like that, if I remember correctly. And
on the 27th of December. Yep.
Yeah, and that, let me tell you something, that is the biggest issue because if Goff plays, now here's the deal. The Rams and the Seahawks, with all the familiarity of those two teams playing, and I don't know, for the last umpteenth time, the last millionth time in a row, these guys have come down to the fourth quarter other than that last game with God, So this game is going to be close. And I would have bet, a cupcake that is, I would have bet that at the end of the day, it's going to be the home team that might pull this game out.
You
got to look at it
5-0 at home.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough to overcome. But again, is Goff going to play? Because that's going to be a little different.
He had that thumb. He did have the minor surgery on the thumb, and as you know, holding the football, that thumb. I don't know how he's going to play. I mean, if he is, he's probably going to hand the ball off a lot. But if not, I mean, John Wolford, he got his first NFL start and he got his first NFL win. So he's very capable. And if anything, the guy looks a little bit more mobile than Goff is. So
yeah, listen, how many cupcakes? 50. But look, honestly, at the end of the day, like you said, the thumb is the key. Mm-hmm. And please, come on, man. We're all big time football guys here. Don't tell me you got to have a quarterback step into the play. There's a big difference between going to get your first victory, in week 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. Now you're entering the playoffs. It's a different game. It's much more speed. The guy's going to be overwhelmed if it's not Goff.
Yep. Yeah, and that's true. I mean,
you throw the regular season out the window. Anything that happens from here, it's a brand new season at this point.
Okay.
And, as far as the Seahawks go, it's one of the first times that we've been healthy. We're going to have our offensive line back. We didn't have the full offensive line when we played the Rams the last time. Russell was still sacked about 6 times in that game. When he is protected, he throws the ball like nobody else.
Yeah.
And when he's under pressure, it's a 50-50 crapshoot, and that's why we have heart monitors and nitroglycerin and everything else ready. We are the new cardiac kids. We are, we have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett that can catch anything you throw at them, but you got to throw it at them first.
Hey, do you guys have fans? Because I couldn't go to Seattle this year.
No.
Are you not even having it like the Bills are doing?
No,
the West Coast is entirely shut down. So it's
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that sucks because this is your first hosted playoff game since 2017, right?
We've hosted
Wild Card games a couple of years ago. I remember that game.
No, that's 2017, right? January. Yeah, so could you imagine finally getting that playoff game back and it's going to be empty? That sucks for you guys, actually.
It does.
I mean, we got Buffalo just got lucky because our numbers are down in Western New York.
Oh, trust me. If my friend up there was drinking champagne over there, if his team would have beat if his team would have won, then I was praying to God that Governor Murphy in New Jersey was going to allow some fans for that playoff game.
Yeah. That's not going to happen in Washington.
Wait a second. Whoa. I got here. I'll supply the prop.
Give me some tissues, bro. I'll take them all. I'll give them to me. I'll still
it's
take them.
industrial strength, man. It's
I'll
that big.
take them all. Let's go.
Only because I had it on stage, baby.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Russell Wilson and the weapons that he's got. Now that his defense is getting healthy, this is going to be a grudge match. I don't care how you look at it. These two teams are that are rivalries that just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And Seattle right now leads the series 25-21. But with Goff in there, I think it's a better game. If Goff doesn't play, then you got to give it to Seattle.
25-21, right? But Seattle's won 10 straight playoff games at home. Whatever whatever it is. So at least at home postseason games. I think the last one they lost was in 2004. That's why I said home field is it. And that's why you stick me with the Rams and I'm sitting here Seattle. But if God plays, we're winning because I took the Rams.
And today's the anniversary of the Marshawn Lynch run against the Saints. I don't know if
I saw it all over. I saw it all everywhere. Yeah.
The Beast Quake.
Yeah,
we're very proud of the Beast Quake.
Yeah.
There ain't going to be no Skittles on the sideline, so they can't use him.
No Skittles this time.
Actually, I hate saying this, and MegaHawk might have known this, but there was some conjecture after, like, when Marshawn was out passing out the turkeys for Christmas, that the Seattle, before they figured out what they were doing at running back, they were going to sign him to another contract just to have him come in.
Yeah, that was the rumor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the rumor. That was the plan. They've always wanted to keep a space for Marshawn somewhere. And he's welcome back anytime. But right now, we've got Rashad Penny and we've got Chris Carson. And we've got Alex Collins back, who started with the Seahawks and then went to Baltimore. And now he's back with Seattle. He scored the last touchdown against San Francisco last week. So we still have a 3-man rotation. So there's really no spot for Marshawn yet. We're not that deep in the muck.
But you guys were injury plagued for most of the season with your running backs. I mean, it was like one's in, one's out, one's in, one's out.
Yeah.
But Carson seems to be healthy. He's your workhorse, and it's great
they wanted him to talk. The Seattle wanted him to have to talk to the media, and he said no, he ain't doing it.
That's it.
He's just here so he don't get fined.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got you. So LPG representing LA.
Okay. Let's go Rams.
Turn the head on backwards.
Okay, in a squeaker. There you go. Wait a second.
I'm now a Rams fan. Let's go Rams.
There you go. Okay, Mr. Hawk. How you got it, and what's going on? What's the score, and by how many? And is it going to be a laugh, or is it going to be entertaining?
It's going to be entertaining. Seattle always makes it entertaining for one reason or another. We play to the level of our competition. We know the Rams are damn good. And so it's going to be 27-20 Seattle. And, right down to the last second, it's going to be one of those things where Carlos Dunlap's going to make a sack at the last play to make sure that the Rams don't score.
And I like that because Dunlap is from my alma mater, even though they've lost the last couple games from Florida. So I just had a prop available. Yeah. So there you go. University of Florida product.
Yeah, I also want to say I want to see Cooper Kupp do well for the Rams because he's from my alma mater, Eastern Washington University. But I want the Rams to lose.
Okay.
I'm very hurt.
You'll get over it.
He's hurt like the Eagles game.
I'm still crying all over the place now.
All over.
I can say this, so if Jared Goff if Jared Goff doesn't play in this game, he's not able to play, or he starts and he can't finish the game, I think Seattle's going to roll right over top of the Rams.
Roll them over.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw out something that, because I am a numbers guy and I'm a trends guy, and I always like to go against what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. 78% of the picks have come in on Seattle.
Yeah.
And that is
Yes.
way too much.
Yep.
When that happens,
Somebody
usually
knows something.
the other side goes. Now, I will say that I have many more Seattle Seahawks friends than I do Rams fans. So I would rather them be happy than the Rams win. However, when that many people are picking the one side, usually it's the other side that wins.
Yeah, somebody
So
knows something.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would go with the Rams and the points because I think Seattle will win. But I think it may be like a 1 point, 2 point game.
And it has, and you're right, it has been. I mean, every one of their games is going into the fourth quarter. I mean, the last 10 times.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I mean, you look at last week's game against San Francisco that Seattle played. Nobody had scored a touchdown prior to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And in the fourth quarter,
that's what I'm saying.
3 touchdowns were scored. So, you know, Seattle was a first half team in the first half of the season, and we had no defense. And we had to try and hold on by the skin of our teeth. Now we're going back to being a defensive team, and we are a second half, primarily fourth quarter team. So if the game is close in the third quarter, watch for Seattle to start pulling away.
Yeah, and like Rambro just mentioned, Rams are the number 1 defense though, and defense does win games.
Seattle has the number 2 defense right now.
Well, there you go.
We're number 2. We're number 2. Oh, okay, sorry.
Someone's got to be.
Okay, yeah, someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish. I was going to say the last time the Raiders had a defense that was. I'm sorry. That's just. I would love to see. We're number 20, or at least that. You know. So again, I can't say anything. And I got to say this. Okay.
You used to have our defensive coordinator too.
Yeah, well, when the defensive coordinator was with us, he sucked. He's actually done well for you guys, and I will say that for that, and that is the evolution of Ken Norton Jr. And I got that. So again, and I admit that. And like I said, Seattle with a very good defense, Rams with a very good offense. I will say this as well. First off, Billy Flores. Why aren't you in here trying to figure out why you're representing the Bears? Okay? I see you here. You make sure you get with Miss Tiffany, and we'll see about vetting you for a possible show, Billy Flores. And the same thing goes for you, Rambro Art Martinez. Okay? I would like for you to at least elicit an opportunity to possibly come on the show, because I appreciate LPG being an LA dude for about 10 minutes, and he did a damn good job on it.
Well, you won't have to worry about that because the Rams and the Bears will both be out this week.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. That doesn't matter because next week I have people that are on the teams that lose are going to be these at-large people, and they're going to talk about why their team lost to the team that they're doing the analysis on. So don't talk so fast, Mr. Jamie. Oh, no. The captain has a plan, sir.
Hey, listen, you could end this with everything that's going on, in at the Capitol. I just think that maybe they shouldn't host the game, Washington, and the Giants should just play the home game versus the Bucks. I mean, if that's okay with you guys.
I like that idea.
All right. Mr. MegaHawk, sir, I salute you and thank you for coming on, sir. I appreciate you cutting your workout a little bit short.
My pleasure. Good to be here.
All right. Thanks again, sir. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. That
Go
was
Hawks.
MegaHawk. Appreciate you being in here. Okay.
I don't want to meet MegaHawk in an alley.
No, 6'6" and a couple bills. Shoot,
6'6" and more than a couple of bills.
Yeah, but MegaHawk, you're still backstage, partner. Anytime I need somebody behind me to make me look more threatening, please come on by. Okay?
MegaHawk, I got an extra ticket for you when I go see Jamie in Philly next year.
There you go. All right. Again, LPG and Philly sports fan, thank you for being here.
No doubt.
We are going, and we're gonna have you stay, I believe.
No, we're not staying.
We're not staying, but I am gonna bring 2 more people on. So I'm gonna kick you guys backstage again.
No doubt.
Okay. We got, and I got to do this within. There we go. Okay, our next game that we are talking about, and unfortunately, we don't have folks to talk about it. But you know what? We're gonna talk intelligently about it as well. And joining us on set, back because she's awesome, and that's get ready, Chris. I saw you working your. There you go. She's ready. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I see her. We got Miss Crystal Page, Cutie Hawk, and then one of my favorite people, Jason Dean, aka I'm sorry, not Jason Dean right now. Raider Demon King. Thank you for being here, shipmate.
What's up, Captain? What's up, Fred? What's up, Crystal? How you guys doing? Great.
Hey.
Well, we get a chance to, and I can't remember. Let me see if I can see the graphic. Oh, Jason, guess what? You are going to talk about those Tampa Bay Bucks because you are on the left, and I'm looking at the graphic. I know. There's a lot of hate and discontent there.
Really?
Yeah.
What am I going to talk about? I'm not talking about him.
Well, you don't have to talk about. I always say that bastard who shall remain nameless.
Come on, he was in our league for 20 years. He destroyed Bills football.
He ruined the Raiders forever.
There
He
you go.
ruined Bills football for 20 years.
The
Okay.
cup wall. That's
So
all I
again, when you were speaking of the person who shall be unspeakable, you say he who shall not be named or that bastard.
Yeah, that clown from Michigan.
Yeah, okay, from Michigan. All right, Jason Dean, you're going to talk about those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sorry.
All right, I guess I will. Okay, well, as we all know,
Whoa, wait a second. And Crystal, you being I at least gave you an NFC team this time.
I mean, I could have talked about the Bucks just because I'm in Tampa. So I mean,
Whoa.
You know what, Jason Dean? Guess what?
she can have them.
You
can have them,
switched.
Crystal.
oh, I don't want him. I mean, I'll more than happy to send him to the Saints next year because that's probably going to happen. But
well, you got a reprieve, Demon King, because the beautiful lady is down here in the Tampa Bay area, so I know she knows a lot about the Bucks as well.
Yeah, that's good because I don't want to talk about anything down there.
There you go. Crystal, you are talking about the local team. They're like I said, their quarterback. You could say his name, but like I said, I call him he who shall remain nameless or that bastard. I'm just going to let you know that.
I mean, I feel like it's always too early for a Seahawks fan to talk about that guy. So, I mean, that was probably one of the worst days in my life that I still do not like to speak of.
Oh, when they didn't run the ball. I got you.
Yeah. When they have Marshawn Lynch in the back,
They should have given it to the Oakland boy.
When they ran all the way down there, then they threw.
Then they should have gave it to the Oakland boy, but they didn't want him to be MVP of the Super Bowl.
Nope. Dumb.
Shame.
All right. Well,
That would have been the last
talking
one to
about.
go back to back.
I'm going to start off. I'm going to say that first off, I'm gonna give and welcome to the show, by the way, there, Demon King. I appreciate you being here, partner, joining the fun here. You did draw the fact that you got to talk about a Washington football team, and I said this the other night on one of my shows. I said the Washington team with Chase Young evoked memories of Admiral Yamamoto after the Pearl Harbor attack. I fear all we have done is awaken a sleeping giant by saying to he who shall remain nameless, I want.
Big mistake.
Talk to me about that, Demon King. Why is it that a very good Redskins defense, playing at home, by the way, is going to be wanting to have a 6-time Super Bowl champion and wanting him to play? Talk to me about that defense, by the way, as well.
Well, I give the kid a lot of credit because he's showing that he's got that moxie. He ain't afraid of Tom. You know what? I don't care, Captain. I'm saying it. He ain't afraid of Tom Brady.
Just don't say the full name.
He ain't afraid of Tom Brady. He ain't afraid of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Everybody said when he went there, oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. Then they got Antonio Clown. They got Gronkowski away from the WWE to come play. Leonard Fournette went there. They were like their super team. But that Washington defense, that front four, is definitely four of the best that I've seen in a long time. They're all young. You have to eventually be good when you draft in the top 10 for like 6 straight years. You eventually have to have certain decent players. Eventually. Now, Chase Young is a bad boy. I wish we could have got him. I'm jealous of the Washington fans because he's going to be an all-pro for years to come.
Yes, I agree.
And who is it, Kerrigan they still have there? Kerrigan?
Yeah, they got Kerrigan and Montez Sweat, who is also a very large part of that.
He was a steal too. Didn't he come in hurt and nobody wanted to touch him because he was hurt?
Yes, there was a rumor coming out of Combine that he was hurt. Actually, he didn't even finish in the Combine because of that.
Exactly, Fred, exactly.
Yep. But I'll tell you, that Washington team, that's the worst thing that Tom Brady wants is to have these young guys calling him out because I know a quarterback that got taken out by a linebacker named Arthur Moats, and he never played again after that. So Tom Brady thinks that he's going to get a run away from these kids. You think that he goes down in the fetal position when the Bills played against him. Wait till you see what he does with this defense coming after him.
I'm excited to see Tristan Wirfs against Chase Young.
And you know what's very interesting about this game, and if you look at the 6 games this weekend for Super Wild Card, if you look at these 6 games, that looks like the game that could be an upset. I know a lot of people aren't giving the Washington Redskins any credit based on their offense, but there's no denying it that defense is elite.
Absolutely.
And if you get in there and Alex Smith can complete some passes, put some points on the board, they're going to hang with that Tampa Bay team. And, I mean, there's nothing to take away from Tampa Bay's got a good defense as well, but nothing compared to that Washington defense. That's going to be a nasty defense for the years to come.
Yeah.
Put together down there.
Yeah, Alex Smith's calf is what makes me nervous a little bit. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to move to it. But I don't think Devin White is playing for Tampa Bay, is he?
No, he is not.
Devin is not playing.
Or on the COVID list, right?
That's huge because him and Levante David are next to the linebackers in Seattle. They're probably the best linebacker combo in the league. You know what I mean? They're very, very
I want to hear from the lady representing those Tampa Bay local teams. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Crystal.
I've been looked about, like I said, that this is going to be a walk-away game, that your team is going to just easily defeat the Washington, Washington, I almost said the other thing. It's WTF.
The team with no name?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead there, Miss Crystal.
Well, Tom Brady and his receivers are on fire right now. I mean, it took them a minute to figure out how to play together, but they are in a groove, and it has really made a difference. And I think that that's the only reason why they are in the playoffs right now. I mean, they've done a really good job rebuilding that team here in the area. So should Tom Brady has the most experience in playoff games between everybody. I mean, just about everybody else hasn't played in a ton of playoff games. The one thing about Brady is that he hasn't really made those big plays because he likes to throw the ball short. But he's figuring it out. I mean, they're figuring it out, and they're doing it, and they're winning games. Their defense is strong. So if they can keep Young from sacking Brady, they do have a really good chance to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the wide receivers that they got on at Tampa Bay. Mike Evans is banged up. He hyperextended his knee. And
I don't think he's playing.
He's probably going to try to play through it. He did an MRI. There was no structural damage to the knee, but he is banged up. But then you got AB, and then Brady likes to feed it Gronk. But This is the thing is that
Chris Godwin, baby. Chris Godwin is the best receiver.
Right,
on
and Godwin.
that
That's
team.
right.
Penn State.
But Brady's not going to be able to complete these passes 20 yards down the field with this defense. There's no way.
No.
I don't see it. I mean, the only way, because you know he's not mobile, and you know he'll get to stay in the pocket, and then he's going to come down. The only way you can beat Brady is if you do a lot of A-gap blitzes on him. Get right in his grill.
Up the middle. That's the only way that he's ever been in trouble. If you blitz him from the outside, he's going to eat you alive. He always has. Every single year, you've seen it.
Every single year.
You play a lot of man, play some man, and A-gap blitz. Come right up and right in his grill.
Yep, get right in his mouth, smack him in the mouth. I mean, I'm not saying this because, we're not dirty players. But you know what? Give him a little shot after he throws the ball.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I watched a couple of Tampa Bay games this year, and he's not really getting those calls that he was getting in New England. You know what I mean? He's been rattled. He's been rattled at some, and he's turning to the refs, and the refs are just like,
because he doesn't have because they already sold their souls to the devil.
Yep.
Him, Kraft, and Belichick. They already got what they had to get. They're all done. That's it. He's finished.
Yeah, and they haven't faced a defense like this, so it's going to be an interesting game. This is what I'm very looking forward to.
I'm going to allow Fred. You got any more wonderful stats to go?
No, I'm good now.
Okay. No, I want to make sure because I know you do a lot of prep. And I don't want to leave it on the paper, baby.
No, I just put that out there about the injuries. And Washington, again, the McLaren, he's a little banged up as well. But it looks like he's going to play through it. So as long as they can get their running game going, they should be all right.
Okay. RDK representing WFT. See what I did there? RDK, WFT. All right. Why is Washington gonna shock the world? And those Tampa Bay locals.
Their defense. And I think the running back is going to have a decent game.
Okay. All right. Crystal representing the Tampa Bay area. And even though I'm down here, I will never represent that team. Although
you're a damn Rays fan too. Don't start.
Oh, my God. This is why we can't have these things.
And this is why we can't have nice things, Deacon King.
You're gonna hear me say this once and only once this weekend, and it's only for my station guys.
Record this.
Is go Bucks.
Wow.
And then they can go away.
Wow, she just said go Bucks.
Oh my God.
Now is Tampa Bay that's where all the old people go to retire?
Yeah, that's why Tom Brady came down here.
Yeah,
Fred, I moved down there for 3 years and went back to Pennsylvania.
I can believe that.
And then I moved to Texas.
Nice.
My house
home, Tampa Bay.
I know, Captain. Don't worry. Once
Okay.
this is all taken care of, I'm coming down. You know that.
I know you. I know I'm going to see you. And like I said, you can either give me your friggin' address or I'm going to mail this shit to you.
I want you to hand it to me and give me a big hug.
Oh, I will. Post-COVID, I will. Okay.
That's what I mean.
Crystal, again, I will excuse that crap that came out of your mouth.
I mean, but let's just talk about the storyline.
Go ahead.
Tom, Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing in a Tampa Bay Super Bowl.
Not happening.
I mean, but it makes a good storyline.
You know what makes it,
for who, Crystal? Come on now.
You know what makes it even better storyline is the Buffalo Bills.
16.
The Buffalo
I'm
Bills
trying
first.
here. I'm trying to be supportive of my local team because I get so much wrath for.
What would be a bigger storyline is the Bills' first Super Bowl was in Tampa Bay, so it'd be nice to see them go back.
You know, it's going to be even a big storyline when the Raiders win the Super Bowl next season.
I mean,
you all they don't play the Patriots in the snow.
You all are welcome to come down, hang out.
That's messed up.
I got lots of room.
Okay. Well, and I'll hopefully
David's already coming down for the weekend. Come on down.
I will hopefully see Crystal in and around. So if you dress up, I'll dress up. I dressed up today because I wanted to make sure that people weren't bitching at me for not dressing up.
It's Friday. I wear this every Friday.
Okay.
I'm not dressed up. I just look this way.
Okay.
You look good, my man.
All right. Now, and we're only halfway through, folks. That's the Saturday games. And I want to thank everybody for staying with us so far. Go get yourself something to drink. we're going to do a halftime show, and I'm throwing this to Fred. He doesn't know this.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna kick everybody out. Everybody go get your Cokes. I'm not allowed to because I got to do the halftime show. But we will do the Sunday shows in just a minute. See, I threw one at you, Fred, but I know you can handle it. We'll see everybody in a little bit, okay? Thanks again there, RDK, for representing the WFT.
Yeah,
the
thanks,
WTF.
guys.
Don't go nowhere, okay? And then Crystal, obviously, don't go nowhere. We love having you on, okay? And I'm leaving this up here because this is important. There's two things that I'm going to do here, Fred. The first thing we got is we're going to talk about those New Orleans Saints who own the NFC South. They beat the Buccaneers twice, and obviously the road, in my estimation, in the NFC is going to be going through either Nolans or Green Bay.
Yes.
And I had that on there, but here's the other thing. So I got Sig Saint, and we're going to hear from him in a little bit. And then Billy Flores of the Bears, like I said there, Mr. Billy Flores. And by the way, we're going to have a Bears fan, Nick Tailgreeter, on pretty soon. So he's going to be ready for us in a little bit. And he's got some good information that I know he wants to share. Nick, make sure you get that website information ready to go when we get you on, okay? But Billy says the Saints have to get past his Bears. Okay, Bill, I got you. But Billy, you need to put yourself up with Tiffany because I want to see you with vetting on this show representing your Chicago Bears next week. And then, of course, Brian says back, there you go. And I love this as well. Keep your boy from throwing punches. I get it. I love it. Okay. And then, of course, tell your boy don't be yanking out mouthpieces. So hey, we got a lot of good things here, and I wanted to show that. And I'll keep up the graphic. Obviously, the Tampa Bay fans, and I live down here, they've been talking about how they're going to have a hometown Super Bowl, and I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
So you tell me that I'm right or wrong, and why.
You want me to tell you that?
Yeah, you tell me why I'm right or wrong.
No, there's no way. I mean, you still got to get past Rodgers. You got to get past the Saints. The Saints defense is no joke. And then you got Drew Brees, and he's starting to get healthy. The last game that they played, they were decimated by their running backs because of COVID. Alvin Kamara, he's back now. He's going to be healthy. There's no way. There's no way the Tampa Bay is going to get past the Saints or the Green Bay Packers, especially healthy. The way Rodgers is playing, he's playing like an MVP right now. He's playing out of his mind. And then you got the receivers that he has down there. And then he's got Aaron Jones, the running back, who's been running hard for him. So there's no way I can see that Brady is not going to – I don't know if Brady will get out of the playoffs in the first round, to be honest with you, just because, the playoffs are totally different from the regular season. The game is faster. It's more physical. And Father Time's going to catch up to Brady. I know they got a good squad, but can they maintain themselves and stay healthy? AB hasn't played in a couple of years or a year and a half or so. So is he going to be able to keep up as well? I just don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Okay. Well, we're gonna flip the switch here. We are now on to Sunday games, and we have Baltimore at Tennessee.
Yeah, this is a game right here.
Ooh. Okay. I've lost, and until I see otherwise, we're basically it's going to be you and I, unless, and Jamie's always up for it. Jamie, you want to come on screen and talk a little bit about this game? He's up for it. There you go. I it's easy because I'll just say, hey, Jamie, you want to talk about Tiddlywinks versus hopscotch? Oh yeah, shit, I'll talk about it. So there you go. Jamie.
Well, I happen to know a little bit about Baltimore because I was front and center when the Eagles played them.
There you go.
And I happen to have a couple of family members whose parents were diehard Eagles fans, but somehow, some way became Ravens fans. Yeah, and I took him to the game, so I had to deal with him, liking the Ravens with me at the Eagles game. So
okay, well, again, this is a wonderful matchup in the fact that. And I am on record, and Fred knows this as well. I am on record saying that I firmly believe that either Baltimore or Buffalo is going to represent the AFC this year because these are the teams that have been playing the best for the latest and the longest amount of time, most consistently. And I see an upset. Granted, I don't like Kansas City, but I will give them their due. I mean, there is a hatred there, but I will give them that they are a good team. But I will also say that Kansas City has been squeaking by a lot of teams this year. They squeaked by the Raiders the second time. And by the way, the Raiders are the only team this year. I got to throw this. The Raiders are the only team this year to beat Kansas City when they weren't holding players back. And that is true. Okay. Kansas City squeaked by the Chargers the first game. They squeaked by the Panthers. They squeaked by Miami. They squeaked by the friggin' Falcons.
Yep.
So again, that's why I said the Ravens and the Bills, and we already spoke about the Bills. So and we didn't get a chance, and I apologize for not having my Bills fan in, but Fred wasn't a co-host at that time. He was actually talking about the Bills. Go ahead, Jamie. Now you know these teams. Like I said, you know the Ravens. And I know Fred's going to let me shut up and say some wonderful stats. So you guys go and just go at it. Okay, Jamie, you're mostly I'm going to let you be Baltimore. And Fred, you got some stats. Go ahead and Jamie, you're representing Baltimore. Why is Baltimore going to win this game?
Well, my thought is that this is a revenge game from last year. Like beyond everything else, this is a revenge game. I mean, obviously it was Tennessee who kicked them out of the playoffs, and this is the way for Lamar to really start to cement, to shut up all the haters. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's really what he's got to do. I mean, it's just like he's a great weapon, was the MVP last year, but he ain't going to win a big game. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to it's going to haunt him if he loses this game. And I feel like that the Ravens defense isn't the Ravens defense of old, but there is some of those tendencies still there, and they're going to put 8 men in the box. They're going to make Tannehill have to beat them with his arm. Now, can Tannehill do it? Maybe. But if you give him enough pressure, Tannehill's like everybody else. He's going to start getting happy feet. And when he gets happy feet, he throws interceptions. That's why Miami got rid of him in the first place. That's why when it comes to times when games that they're supposed to win, they don't. So, and that is part of one of the things that I believe. That's why I believe, plus LT Fort was an Eagle. We got rid of him. Baltimore picked him up. He became like an all-star. So I feel like that just those things alone are going to be enough to beat Tennessee.
I mean, you look at both of these teams. You got the Ravens, who are ranked number 1 in running, and you got the Titans, who are ranked number 2. Both of these teams, they almost mirror each other. They both want to get out. They want to establish a running game. You got a big power back in Henry, and then you got Lamar Jackson, that can just take over a game. I mean, he got another 1,000 yards rushing this year. And the thing is that he needs to work on his passing. Right now, they're ranked 32 in passing in the NFL. And then you got Tannehill, they're ranked 23. I think the Ravens defense is a little bit more. I think they're a lot better than the Titans defense. Titans defense to me is a little suspect. They've been giving up a lot of plays, a lot of big plays, a lot of points. And then you look at Ravens, and they're starting to click right now coming down this stretch. They're also giving up some points, so it's not that they got a sound defense. I just think that theirs are a little bit tighter than the Titans is. But this is going to be a battle. It's going to be a slug match as well. Both teams want to run the ball. I don't think you'll see much passing, but if you do, I mean, you got to worry about A.J. Brown. This kid's a stud, and when Tannehill can let it go, this kid's going to run and catch that ball. He is a little banged up as well, so coming in this game, he's banged up. Both teams are probably going to try to establish a run first and then see if it can open up for the pass. But for Lamar Miller, this is a game that if he can win this game and then he moves on, then this will help his career. But if he loses this one, and then it's going to be again, you can't win the big game. And his kid, we're going to see, can he pass the ball? That's the biggest thing. Can he?
You mean Lamar Jackson?
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Lamar Jackson. Otherwise known as Lamar Jackson, but that's his fake name. What was it the one guy that was Tijuana? What was Michael Vick's name? The old fake name that you couldn't get it on a jersey.
Ron Mexico.
Yeah, there you go, Ron Mexico. Yeah, so Lamar Jackson is actually Lamar Miller. But
Right.
I get it. Ron Mexico. There you go. I get it.
But
Okay.
yeah, Jackson definitely has to come out. They got to try to pass the ball. This just like I said, you can't rely on a running because you can stop Lamar Miller or Jackson. I'm sorry, I keep saying Lamar Miller. You can stop Lamar Jackson. Sorry, I'm thinking of the running back, but you can stop him, and that's to have your ends come up and contain and keep him in the pocket. If you can do that, then you're going to stop him from taking off. But you got to make sure you put pressure on him and keep him in that pocket. Make him a pocket passer, one dimensional.
Okay.
Well, and I agree, and I feel like that the way that you stop the running game is that you have to do run blitzes, lots of run blitzes against Tennessee. So that if they are going to do passes, that you're going to be able to turn around and go after the quarterback. That's what's really going to be. That's what's really going to be the difference in this game. How much pressure can the Baltimore defense get on Tennessee?
And then when you're going to go attack Henry, you got to start taking his legs out. You're not going to take that guy high. There's no way. He's too big. He's too wide. You got to take his legs off from underneath him.
Yeah, you don't want to try to run with him. He'll push you right on over like he did. What's his name?
Well, he did it to Josh Norman. Actually, he's done it to a couple players this year.
I was going to say, which time, Jamie? Because he's done it about 3-4 times this year.
Yep. But like you say, you just got to take his legs off from underneath him. He can be stopped. Anybody can beat anybody any given Sunday. So it's not like, but this is going to be a good matchup again, just because these are the two teams that like to run the ball, and they're 1 and 2 in the NFL and running the ball. So we definitely know what the game plan is.
Okay,
Yeah,
so who's winning?
I have. Oh, wow, listen to this score: Baltimore 19, Tennessee 17.
Yeah, I got Baltimore winning this game, but I think it's a little bit higher. I'm going to do something like 31-28. I just think that once these teams get rolling, I think the defense, they're gonna put up points. Once they get rolling, they're going to put up points.
Okay, well, Tiffany is reminding you that Lamar Jackson is the quarteback for the Ravens.
Yeah,
well, I
know.
knew that.
Yeah,
well, I know. Yeah.
Somebody mentioned. I saw somebody mention that
Lamar
Lamar Jackson was a
running
running back and not a quarterback.
Oh no, I know facetious. It was actually a Philly sports fan was talking about being that he's the running back, but no, he is a running back, but he is a quarterback, and he probably sells hot dogs in the off season. So he does everything.
Let's just hope he doesn't have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the game.
Yeah, and I saw that today too. Is that really the word as to why he was not there?
Well, it was cramps. It was cramps. He was cramped up because he had to poop.
Yeah, they called it cramping, but yeah, it happens.
Well, you know what? I got cramps right now. I got to go.
But he did come out and he finished the game. They won the game against Cleveland. I mean, it was great, high scoring game, and it was just crazy, just to hold the make of that game, just because the Browns were in control of that game until that pick. Once Baker threw that pick,
yeah,
Lamar and them, they took over the game.
Yeah.
Well, and again, Philly sports guy, aka my favorite dude from Philly. Are you going anywhere?
I am.
Okay.
I am. It's Miller time for me. I gotta go. I've been stuck in this house all day long. I wanted to come in. I had to go see my kids really fast, but now I'm gonna go have a drink.
And again, that's why I wanted to be sure, because I didn't want to kick you backstage and not say goodbye, because LPG left. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. So get on.
Well, because you changed up the format. You know what I mean? The captain's always gotta change it with the tides, and I understand. So
hey,
he shook the globe.
Quick on my feet. Got to go with it. But again, hey, I appreciate you being here and rolling with the punches, baby. I appreciate you doing that, Jamie, and looking forward to seeing you down here for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Jamie.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Please have me back anytime. I love being on the show with you guys. You guys do fantastic work. And hey, listen, no bullying. No bullying. That's what we're all about here. We're fans against bullying, fans against violence. That's like the motto here. So I really do appreciate being a part of you guys and being considered a super fan. Because just because I'm the loudest voice in the NFL, do you hear that? You heard that, right? loudest.
No,
voice in the
I'm
NFL.
sorry. I didn't hear. I'm having some issues with my speakers because I
And
can
listen,
barely
so
hear
I'm
you.
coming down to Tampa, and we could prove it then.
Remember,
Yeah, you heard crickets there, right? We heard crickets. That's what we heard.
Remember,
Okay.
I'm the last guy with whose hand is on the button, baby. I got control of the
He's got
button.
the power. He's
I
got
love
the
you,
power.
Jamie, Philly sports guy. We'll see you later on, partner.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, fly
All right.
Eagles
Good
fly.
night, Jamie. I love that guy.
Yeah, great guy. I'm glad that he came on the show again. It's awesome.
And I tell you,
I didn't realize license plate guy left too. I didn't get to say goodbye to him either. Great guy,
hey,
though.
Jamie, make sure that he left. Crystal, text Jamie, say goodbye, and tell him to text Joe we said goodbye to. Okay, she's doing it. I love that I can see people. You can't see people, Fred. I can.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, but we're going to the next game because this is awesome. And I'm gonna get some of these things. We have so many Superman. Why don't we have people? I know. Hey, Mike,
Come talk to us. Come on, come talk to us. What's going on?
I and Tiffany and Fred were screaming at people
Yeah.
to come on this show in a nice way, in a nice scream, to come on this show. And we got beautiful people that are here. We got people that are coming on. Next week, Crystal's going to actually be talking about her Seahawks instead of other teams. So that'll be a little bit better for her. And we'll have a bunch of people to come on. And if you are representing your team and your team lost, guess what? You're going to talk about why they lost. So there you go.
We'll have napkins.
With napkins. And thank you there. Tiffany's going to message LPG. Thank you there, hon. I appreciate that. Because we love Joe. We love Jamie. There you go. Thanks you there, Tiffany. I appreciate you being there. So we're actually going to go to a game. We're going to go to another game. We're going to have some more people on. What game are we doing? Okay, I got the graphics. I'm Johnny on the spot, man. I got the graphics. Okay. We got a game, and I'm so happy to say we got fans from each team. Welcome to Nick Tailgreeter, who's my Bears fan. And welcome to Signature Saint. Oh, I got to get you guys on the right logo. Okay, there you go. I had to switch it. I had to switch.
Glad to be here.
If I didn't have you on the right logo, you guys would be pissed. Hey, I wasn't on the right logo. I know how you are. And we got, plus we got an extra added bonus. We got some wonderful kids that's in Signature Saints area. So if you hear them, just tell them that Captain Jack says hi. And
says hi.
Okay. Hi.
Sorry, y'all.
There you go. So again, and again, I want to thank Signature Saint Brian for being here. Nick of the Bears, Nick Tailgreeter, thank you for being here. Nick, before we go into anything else, I know you had a message that you wanted to put out, and I'm giving you the full floor, partner.
Thank you so much, Captain. I appreciate being here. Thank you guys for having me. Can't wait for the game this week. Can't wait for a third turn at the Packers after this week. But anyway, just wanted to mention I'll be posting up on the Elite Sports Fans Facebook page that we're conducting a survey trying to figure out a little bit more information about the tailgating industry in general. It's for a good cause. We're trying to make tailgating a little bit more accessible to fans all across the world, giving them an easy way to join other incredible tailgaters that, most of which are part of this group.
Okay. And I don't know, are you able to make a comment via Facebook so that you can have your website or the things available so that they can see it on this show as well as when you do the link later on? Because I want to make sure people see it as well, Nick.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that. As soon as I'm done speaking, I will get the link up for the survey and then we can go from there.
Okay, well, if we were waiting on you and Jamie, you would say we'll wait until you're done speaking because it'd be me and Jamie and Joe. You were going to word it edgewise. So, but we got rid of that. So again, thank you there, Nick. And then we got the Chicago Bears Tailgating Club. Billy Flores is repping you as well.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Buffalo Spartan talking some stuff. And hey, what do those tables ever do to you? That's what I want to know. Why are you breaking them? Okay. Signature Saint, thank you for being here as well, sir. And you're new to the show as well. I haven't had a chance to meet you and greet you. A little bit about yourself, sir, before we get into the tete-a-tete, which is the Bears going down to the Big Easy. Go ahead there, sir.
Well, I'm like, what do you want to know?
Okay, boy, I admit that I stepped into that. I wasn't as direct as I need to be. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Signature Saint.
All right. Well, guess Signature Saint, you know, I mean, about 10 years ago, I started getting the players to just sign my back, and I go straight to the tattoo shop and get it tattooed in. I'm up to about 76 right now, which just waiting for COVID to end so we can put it in the world record book in the Guinness.
Nice.
Good stuff.
So I gotta ask the question. You're definitely not Jewish.
No.
Okay,
No.
that's a personal. Jews don't get tattoos, folks, unless they're in the camp. So you know that's a bad joke, but you know I know you're not Jewish, but with getting tattooed, little bad one on me. But again, sorry, it was there. I took it. As a fan, I gotta ask, with all of those tattoos, again, I guess you're immune to the pain after a while, but there are places I have no tattoos. Okay, there are places that it hurts. Obviously, what's the worst part? Oh,
The one's right about up in this area in the ribs.
In the ribs. Okay.
In the ribs and like the lower spine.
Well, you are, I think from the old movie, you are a better man than I, Gggggggg-men. Okay, you can look that one up. Okay, that's a real old one. It's black and white. Okay, yeah, Tiffany says he did show it. Yeah, he did. Well, yeah. Go ahead. She wants you to again.
Yeah, hold on. Are they getting a good shot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Who did the fleur? I guess your fleur-de-lis was the first one.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Your fleur-de-lis was your first one, I take it, and everybody signed on top of that?
Yes. Actually, what happened was Meacham was, I always worked on his car at the shop, and I'd get anything tattooed, autographed for me. And when the house got broke into, he came into the shop to get some rims worked on, and we were just kind of talking. He was like, the only two things you take to the grave, you could have diamond earrings in the coffin. By the time you make it to the grave, they probably robbed you in their hearse. I said, so the only thing you take to the grave is tattoos and plastic surgery. Don't look like you're getting any boobs anytime soon.
Well, if I had boobs, I'd never leave the house, man. I'll tell you that.
You got a point there. But yeah, that night I got the outline of the fleur-de-lis started, and then it was just kind of went uphill from there, I guess.
Okay. Well, enough of this. And again, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys waiting. This has been a great show, but I want to make sure everybody gets fair trip. Nick, I got to tell you, most everybody is saying they're laughing in that way. The Bears backed into the playoffs, but you know what? You're there, and you're there just like Washington is there to cause trouble. Okay.
Yes. Very true.
There to cause trouble. Now, Brian is saying, and I'll get with you in a minute. The Saints should have been in the Super Bowl many times over the recent past, and I'm not saying that to piss you off there, Brian. I'm just saying it because I got a lot of respect for that team to come back year after year after year. But being a Bears fan as well, to stick with your team when you got like Smoking Cutler and other people, on the sideline, and you're still there, and the monsters of the Midway are gone. Ditka is not your tight end anymore. George Halas is not your coach. But why is it that on Saturday late evening, before we watch the last game of the weekend, we are going to be utterly shocked that DaaaBEEAARRZ the Saints?
I'm telling you, listen, since week 13, Bears have scored over 30 points a game, which is not something we're necessarily used to. However, I think we're hot going in. Mitch is feeling it. We have a 1,000-yard rusher. We have a 1,000-yard receiver. Our offensive line is playing better than it has all year. And I think the Saints are in store for a little bit of upset. I think it's about time.
Okay. I mean, that's succinct. And Fred, you got any stats you want to throw his way as well?
Yeah, what I was going to touch on is a little bit about Mitchell Trubisky. I think the kid has a lot to prove. You know, he lost his job at the beginning of the year, and then through injuries, he got his job back. And I think he's got to prove a point. I mean, you got David Montgomery, who's actually had 1,000 yards, and then you throw in Allen Robinson. They have some weapons, and they also have some defensive players as well. I know they're going up against a juggernaut in the Saints, but the Saints haven't been the same, all year. They fought some COVID. They had some injuries to key players. Drew Brees even lost some time, but they continued winning, and a lot of it had to do with Taysom Hill being on the team, and he's another weapon. So this game's going to be interesting, and it's kind of intriguing to me to watch because you got two teams that really need to win this game. They really need to be in the Super Bowl. They deserve it just because they're the franchise themselves. But I mean, Trubisky, he's interesting because he's a good football player, and he wasn't given the opportunity beginning of the year. And so hopefully this game he can prove that he is the starting quarterback for the Bears.
I think we got a little lucky with their D-end, their sack leader, out for the game. So it gives us a little bit, Trubisky is usually not the greatest under pressure. So the fact that he may have a little bit more time under center might be in our favor.
Okay.
Yeah, it could definitely. And again, it's going to be David Montgomery. He's the workhorse. You get him going. I mean, he's going to open up the pass. And then, like I said, Allen Robinson, he's a high point. He's a high point the ball. But then you look on the Saints side as well. Michael Thomas looks like he's getting healthier, so there's a chance he might be playing. Alvin Kamara, there's a chance all their running backs will be back. It's going to be a tough test, and a lot of it's going to hinge on how Drew Brees handles it. He's still not 100%. I believe he's still wearing the flak jacket because he had 9 broken ribs, a punctured lung. So he's still not 100%. So if you get a couple shots on him, he's probably going to feel it. So, but
long season for a 42-year-old.
Yeah, that's another one. And like I said, I asked, who's going to retire first, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, or Roethlisberger or Brady? It's,
none of them.
I got the answer to that. The answer is sitting right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to retire first, hopefully not in a box. That's all I got a sense to say. As long as I'm retired and continue to breathe, I'm good to go. All right. Signature Saint, you're listening. And like I said, I give you the setup and you're like, yeah, yada, yada. That's all I'm hearing is blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Right? Because I'm telling you, the Saints should have been in the Super Bowl several times the last couple of years, and they're pissed off. And Drew Brees is back this year for what might be his last year.
Absolutely. That's what they're talking about. It might be his last year. He's going to, after his last game, he's going to announce if he's going to play another year or retire.
Okay.
I do think he will retire after this year. I mean, like Fred said, I mean, he had 11 broken ribs, collapsed lung. Last season, what happened? His thumb. I mean, he's not as young as he used to be anymore. I mean, like I say, this year I think it was Kamara, Thomas, and Drew have only played 10 solid quarters together out the whole season.
Yep.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, between COVID and injuries, they had a fair share of them. And they talk about Drew Brees. I mean, they talk about retiring. He's got his 2 young boys too. That he won't even let them play football. So he's probably got these injuries on his mind, and his family, I would imagine, is leaning on him as well. And what sucks is that he is a great quarterback. I mean, he's got the Super Bowl win, and it's crazy that he didn't have more Super Bowl appearances. You know what I mean? With that team that they've had down there, and then you look at the playoff hiccups, so to speak, that they've had to endure the last couple years as well. So. Maybe this is his last hurrah. Maybe he will go back and get that Super Bowl again. Who knows? But not easy to play football when you have broken ribs and a collapsed lung. So you got to give the guy credit that he is tough. He is a tough football player.
All right. So I'm sorry, Brian. Did you, anything what you wanted to add on that, or did I hit you before you hit the comment?
No, you were good.
Okay.
You're good.
Nick?
I got one more thing to say. I'd hate for Khalil Mack to end Breeze's career, but looks like that might happen.
Not gonna happen.
Go Bowl.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, and I'm sorry. That's another curse word in my book. I call him 50 who.
50.
50 who. The guy.
Hey, silently, he has more stats than in the stat book.
50 who
50 who.
has played well at times, but I'm sorry, was not worth the ducats. Okay.
Yeah.
Not worth the ducats. And great player, 50 who, but I won't wear his jersey until it's a retro jersey. Then I got a few of them in my closet. So it'll be a while. Once it's retro, then I'll wear the jersey again. Okay, Nick, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the score? And like I said, a high score, low score, you escape town or are you going to go right to the strip clubs right afterwards? I'm asking.
We continue the 30-point streak, and it's 31-21 Bears straight to the strip club.
Straight to the strip club. I like that. That's a good plan. If that's true, I'm gonna fly up to Nolans and go with you. Brian, you know how good strip clubs are. So
Can't get the strip clubs here. They're all closed now.
Well, then we'll have to do it another time, Nick. Okay, we'll do it when anti-COVID, and I'll let Brian take us out there as well. Brian, what's the score and why?
I mean, honestly, it's going to be another close game like it was last time. I do think about 3 points off, 35-33.
Oh, that high scoring.
35-32, 35-33, somewhere in there.
Okay, now I tell you, the defenses don't get a lot of shriek, but they are both fantastic defenses. The Bears beat those local boys, and I love seeing that as well. And obviously, Saints beat the local boys twice. And again, congratulations, gentlemen. I love you both for that because I have to live here. Okay, so it's always good to see that. But you think it's going to be that high scoring with the defenses as good as they are?
I do. I mean, I think, we do have Gardner Johnson coming back, but we're also out Quan Alexander for, I think it was an ACL he tore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's, there's going to be a few slip-ups here and there. I mean, both teams are going to get some nice scores.
Okay, and I got to put this comment up because it is the truth. And thank you, Crystal, for saying it. Best strip clubs are here, guys. So, I'm
coming to visit you.
Oh, I know I'm coming next year.
Let's go.
How many dollars do I got to bring?
Bring a lot. Bring a lot. When you make it rain, if it ain't pouring like a hurricane, they ain't even gonna look at you. I'm just saying.
Bet on the Bears. You'll have plenty to throw in there.
There you go. Okay, Nick. Again, make sure and Tiffany's gonna put that greeting up for that. And I thank you for being here, sir. Brian, more power to you. Love the tats, man. I do. I don't have any, but I'm gonna live vicariously through you, sir.
If you're ever ready, I know a guy.
No, I'm good. I've always said that, and I said that while my dad was alive, because my dad was Jewish, I said I would never get a tattoo while my dad was alive. Now I'm just too old, so I don't know.
Never too old.
I agree. Never too old. I always said I was going to get a Raider on one arm, and I was going to get the Harley Eagle on another arm, and then if I can hack them, then I would get. And this is the ones that hurt. Is up here. I've been told that the inner side. Yeah, I was gonna get an anchor because of my Navy career, an anchor with a mermaid on the flukes of the anchor. But let me get my first one first, and then we'll see. So we'll go.
He's up to $1,000 already for 3 tattoos.
Post-COVID and when I can afford it. And again, Nick, thanks again. Brian, thanks again. I appreciate you guys being here, sir. But good game for both of you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Get ready because, again, some of your representatives are going to be here next week talking about why you won and why you lost.
Well, I'll see y'all next week on why we won. So
okay.
I wish you both good luck in the playoffs. Hope both teams stay healthy.
There you go. I agree. Thanks again, gentlemen. I appreciate you waiting.
All right. No problem.
All right. That's Nick, and that's Brian's signature Saint. And yeah, best strip clubs are here in Tampa. I agree. Not that I know.
Are they open?
I don't know. Crystal, are they open yet?
With COVID, though?
Crystal's shaking her head, so she must know something.
Strippers with masks on? How does that work? They're behind glass? I mean.
Oh, please. No.
Yeah, I will say this. I will, and Crystal can attest to this. I have been at a strip club with my buddy during a retirement, but when a young lady is there and this guy had his girlfriend there, the girlfriend got more lap dances for free and had more fun than the guys did. So I'm gonna go out with Crystal, but I'll be dressed as a girl.
What the, really?
Yeah, so I can get more lap dances for free. I don't know. I might have to shave the beard, but maybe I'll just be a really ugly girl with a beard.
I mean, we can bring Michael Paul with us. I'm sure he'll take care of it for you. He'll take the guy's role.
Okay, I can barely hear you, so I had to put these up here because I love hearing that. And we'll get some more of these things up here. Okay, there you go. I want to make sure that all the comments are in.
Oh, Rob, MegaHawk was saying that the strippers in Tampa don't take less than $20 bills.
What? I didn't hear you.
The strip. Turn up your volume, Crystal.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit more. A little more.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Just like the Verizon commercial. There you go.
The strip clubs in Tampa, the strippers don't take less than $20 bills.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I worried about that then. All right, well we got one more game, and I appreciate everybody being here. Let me get it on the board here because I'm very happy to welcome back one of my favorite people. And did I get him on the right spot? Yes, I did. I got him on the right spot. Okay. And Bukdog, you are on the right spot. You are representing your Cleveland Browns. And Crystal, I have you on here because you're just, I mean, you can stay here too. You don't have to necessarily talk about the Steelers, but you can give your thoughts as to what you want as well. Bukdog, I appreciate you staying up. And I tell you what, Bukdog is awesome because it's going past 11 o'clock and he's still here with vim and vigor because he is a fan of OH.
IO.
There you go. I set him up. And before we even talk about the game, Buck, I want you to gloat about your Ohio State Buckeyes before we go anywhere else.
Roll Tide.
I may throw up in my mouth.
Oh, I'm letting him have it. I'm letting him have it because I didn't believe it. Go ahead, Buck. I want to hear it.
Nobody gave us a chance against Clemson. We had them beat last year. Olave made a bad read. He ran the wrong route. They gave it to Trevor Lawrence. And good luck, Jaguars, if you draft him. He's not the best quarterback in college football. He had a great freshman year. He's done nothing since. The Buckeye defense finally showed up. We can run the ball. It's going to be a good game against Alabama. It's sort of like the Browns and the Steelers. They don't give us much of a chance here in the Buckeye State, but be ready. The Buckeyes are coming to play, and this defense has turned the corner, and we can run the ball right now.
Okay, so before we get into the game, score for Monday.
Roll Buckeyes Tide. 38, Alabama 24.
Okay. Hey, Buck. I definitely hope to have you on for a synopsis next week. Just because I know that you will talk college football as well. And if you're ready, even if we have another Browns fan come on, I definitely, if you want, I'd love to have you on again, just talking national championship game.
You got it, man.
All right. And Fred just keeps saying something that kind of bounces off my ears. So
I'm a Bama fan.
Oh, I know. That's why I wanted to let Buck talk.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we got the final game of the weekend. And this is a good one because this is the third time's the charm game. Cleveland going up against Pittsburgh. This time, Bukdog, what is going to be the to take the cake to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh third time around? Talk to me, brother.
Well, the Steelers started out 11-0. They were going undefeated. They couldn't be touched. Of course, in college football, we call it a cupcake schedule. And that's what they were playing, a bunch of cupcakes. And when the going got tough, guess what? The last 5 games of the season, their record is 1-4. You know how many times they've scored 20 points in the last 6 games? Twice. And once of those was with Mason Rudolph. And defensively, 5 straight games they've given up more than 23 points. It's falling apart. They're on a skid. When they beat us the first time bad, we didn't have Chubb. We got the dynamic duo, Chubb and Hunt, ready. You've heard about the drive. You've heard about the fumble. They're already calling this one the Rona. We got no head coach. We lost our Pro Bowl guard, the gray beard, 9-year vet, struggled, 0-16, 1-15. His chance to play in the playoffs, it's gone. This team is playing for Joel Bitonio. They're playing for Coach Stefanski. And thank you, Juju TikTok Schuster, for opening your mouth again and running us down and dishing us and saying we're the same old Browns. We're going to come after you. And Ben, 60.8 QBR rating, 22nd in the league. Baker Mayfield, 72.4, 9th in the league. Ben is done. All he can throw is dink and dunks. They don't have a running game. They're only averaging 84 yards a game on the ground. The Browns are going to come inspired. And the Steelers, they're falling off the cliff right now.
Okay. And I don't know if you left any stats for Fred, because normally he's coming charging on that. So, Fred, did he take all your glory away, or do you have anything to say?
No, not really. Not really, because it's kind of funny. I watched Marcellus Wiley made a comment about the Pittsburgh Steelers-Cleveland game this past weekend, and he was comparing about like high school and varsity football, where, you know, your JV team would play the other JV team in the afternoon or whatever, and then your varsity team would get to go and play their varsity team under the lights. So this is kind of like the Cleveland Browns played the Pittsburgh Steelers JV team. Now the Cleveland Browns are going to go play the Pittsburgh Steelers varsity team. They only beat Pittsburgh by 2 points against second and third stringers. I'm not taking anything away from the Cleveland Browns defense, or their running game. But the fact is that I think Pittsburgh knew that they couldn't catch the number 2 seed. So why not sit their old man quarterback, Big Ben, and get some rest on the other players? And I think they're going to come back healthy. I think they're going to figure some things out. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they did play 11 games. They're 11-0. And then they ran into the Washington team, and then a buzzsaw on Sunday night. And then the Bengals come out of nowhere. But this is still a football team that has 11 wins. So, I mean, you really can't take them lightly. And now that you're going to be going to their house, and they still don't have no fans. So that's another thing for them guys. They don't have fans. But I think you're going to see a different Pittsburgh team. I really do. I think what you saw this past weekend with Cleveland, it was not the same Pittsburgh Steelers team. I think
they're a better team with Mason, with Rudolph. Ben is about done. He can't move. He can't throw the ball deep. We're going to come after him. Myles Garrett is just now rounding back into shape from Corona. We're hoping Denzel Ward, we get some help in the secondary. But you're right. We were playing their JVs. They didn't have TJ Watt. They didn't have Pouncey. And to me, that was a joke. You had a chance to play for second place, home field throughout except Kansas City, and you chucked it all away, and you pulled your starters and didn't even play them. What kind of team does that? You could have had the second best ranking, and you didn't even play for it.
A smart one when they have been riddled with Corona as well. So they held back starters to be ready for this weekend. I think that was
And
a
my
smart
question-
choice.
And
My
ultimately, they couldn't catch Buffalo Bills. There was no way that they're going to get that second seed because
No.
even if the Bills won and Pittsburgh won, Buffalo still got the second seed. If Pittsburgh lost, the Bills lost, Buffalo still got the second seed. You weren't going to take the seed from them. So that was their ultimate decision.
What if Buffalo loses and Pittsburgh wins? Who gets the second seed?
Well, then they would have got it, though.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. They had a reason to play their starters.
But they chose to give up the second seed and rest players. So they went that route where the Bills said, we're going to continue our routine. We're going to come out and we're going to get this game. We're going to take this game because that was our goal. We want that second seed. We want the playoffs to go through Buffalo, whatever, at any cost. So once we knew the game was at hand, then we gradually pulled our starters out. Well, we pulled Josh at the end of the first half. But that was Pittsburgh's decision. They went with it right on Monday. They came right out and said it. Ben Roethlisberger will not play this weekend. There will be several other players. That was the organization's decision. So, I mean, I guess they're happy with the seeding. But, I mean, you still got to give them, credit that with everything that's going on, resting players is not a bad thing going into the NFL playoffs.
Okay. And my question
it wasn't a bad decision. And if the Steelers can control the clock, that's gonna be a big difference.
And for the Browns, they can't turn it over. They got to win the turnover margin. And my question is, there's pictures from that game Sunday of Kevin Stefanski hugging Mike Tomlin. A day later, he's COVID positive. Where's the contact tracing? Why is Mike Tomlin coaching in this game?
Yeah, good point. Well, I actually thought the NFL did Cleveland wrong by not actually rescheduling this game, to be quite honest with you. I think that they should have gave this team a chance to get healthy. I mean, they worked their butts off to get into the playoffs, and now you're going to jeopardize or, punish a team and make them play without their head coach and some other staff members and some players. I think the NFL did them dirty.
And unless you're Baltimore or Pittsburgh, you're not going to get a break in this league.
Or Tennessee.
There you go. And
because
by the way,
we got shafted. Yeah, we got shafted. We didn't know.
We are the only team that had issues with coronavirus, and they moved our friggin' game up. That's it.
Well, the NFL did it to the Bills, where we didn't know who we were playing. We were supposed to play Thursday night against Kansas City, and then they let us know Tuesday morning. Oh, you're going to get your game in against Titans. So now we got to head to Titans. We weren't even prepared for that team. We were prepared for Kansas City. So that's an NFL thing.
Well,
so I'm hoping they come out inspired to play a good game.
Now you guys have some injuries though too, right, on the defensive side?
Yeah, we lost Olivia Vernon for the year. He's gone.
That's the big one. So now you just got Myles Garrett that's going to be on the line that has to get all the pressure. That's
a huge loss. That's a huge loss for the Browns.
Yeah, that's a tough
Vernon was playing well.
All right, well, Crystal.
Yeah.
Who wins?
I'm gonna go with the Steelers for this one.
I hate you.
I know, and I'm gonna get slack.
I heard
someone say
who hates you and why?
So my son has to live in my house, which means he has to cheer for the Seahawks. But he is a backdoor Browns fan. So
that's cool.
This has been a conversation in our household. So that's why I just got that.
Come on, care for a
second.
Come
here.
What? I knew.
Come on.
No, I knew.
Yeah, put that smart kid in front of the camera.
I know. He is wearing a Seahawk shirt right now, though.
Okay.
Oh, no, it says Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. First off, what's your name? And you tell me why the Browns are going to win.
Well, my name is Denton, first of all, and the Browns will probably win, probably because of their run game, and they take really long drives to get scored. But if the Steelers go down and score quickly, I feel like it would be game over, and the Browns would probably lose because the Steelers would score quickly, and then the Browns would take time off the clock. So, I mean, it would give the Browns not much of a chance. So.
Okay, Fred, I think we got your apprentice here.
Yeah, I guess so. He took right over.
Yeah. Denton, you're a smart young man, and again, and I can't see.
Why are you wearing a Seattle shirt then?
Because he wants to be fed, and he wants a bed to sleep in.
No, I said I can't see any resemblance at all. So
no, not any at all.
All right. Hey, Denton, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you being on screen, partner. I hope to see you over at the Super Bowl area while I'm dressed out too.
Oh, he will be there. He will be there.
Okay.
Yeah. He's excited for Jamie to come down and hang out with us. So
good.
Nice.
Him and Jamie talking football is really fun.
Well, now remember, Denton, you're going to have to make sure that you tune in all the time, because that's one more viewer that I have, and I like to have as many viewers as possible.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right, and you could call my show too, because I definitely want to talk to people that are, that talk football. So, and Bukdog, I know Bukdog's going to call in when we talk about the national championships as well. So there you go.
Now he'll tell you all about that one too.
Okay. Denton, thanks again, partner. Appreciate it. Bukdog, why are you going to win again? Because she said that the Steelers are going to win, and then Denton said that you're right. But I want to hear it from the words mouth of Mr. Bukdog Walters.
Denton stole my thunder. They're going to get 200 yards on the ground. They're going to control the ball. He's right. If Pittsburgh gets ahead early, we're in trouble. But if we can score first, limit the turnovers, turn it to Chubb and Hunt, we got a chance. Those Steelers receivers are very good. There's no doubt about it. They're not running the ball as well. We've got a chance. We got to protect Baker. The Steelers got 56 sacks this year. They come after you. That defense is very good. Their wide receivers are good. We got to control the ball, limit the turnovers. Juice Landry has to have a big game.
Yeah.
Okay. And Signature Saint, are you ready there, sir? I'm gonna put you on real quick. And Nick, I see you're still there, because I'm gonna surprise. And hello, by the way, if you want your Bocadillos, that's the person to go to, Oscar Toledo. Hello to you as well, Oscar. We appreciate you being on. Say you didn't have to put on all your gear, because that's fine. Nick, I'm gonna put you on here as well, because I want to have a sixth screen here. And hello to Oscar as well. Thank you for being here. Let's get a different. I'm gonna do a regular field, because while I got you on here, and this is a surprise, okay? Of all the people that are here, and we're gonna look beyond. We're gonna look beyond this weekend. We know what the games are this weekend. But ultimately, who is going to represent each conference, okay? Ultimately, who's going to – I know that you guys are saying we're going to win, okay. But ultimately, who's going to represent the NFC and who's going to represent the AFC? And I'm going to start with Denton, because he's the smartest one in the group here.
It's true.
Probably for the NFC Packers, because I feel like it'll be Saints, Packers, and NFC Championship. So, I mean, I would say the Packers would win that. And
I know when you sleep at night.
Oh, I forgot about the Seahawks game. And probably the Chiefs in the AFC. The Bills are really their only competitor. So,
Okay, Crystal, like I said, so Denton's smart about the Packers. I don't know about that AFC team. We'll have to talk about that one. But Crystal, since you're on screen as well, ultimately, who represent the NFC and AFC?
NFC, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. Of course. Come on.
Okay.
All or nothing. AFC, I'm going to go.
Remember, this is only a 3-hour show. We got about 50 minutes to go.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Steelers, and I'm gonna make it a rematch from Super Bowl 2005.
Okay, now I'm gonna throw this off. The Seahawks don't make it.
I think that was the right year.
Right, okay, but I'm gonna say this: the Seahawks don't make it. Who wins the NFC if the Seahawks don't?
They all die.
Okay. So everybody dies. So that means that the AFC wins by default. All right. Bukdog, because you waited the longest. You're up next, sir. Ultimately, who wins the AFC and who wins the NFC, sir?
It sure looks like it's the Chiefs to win. Mahomes is unreal. That offense is unreal. I mean, they're hurting a little bit with Edwards-Helaire dinged up, but they did get the insurance policy of Le'Veon Bell. If my Browns aren't in it, it'll be the Chiefs. In the NFC, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Buckeye Saints.
The New Orleans Buckeye Saints.
Half their roster's from Ohio State.
Okay. I know Michael Thomas is. Who else?
Latimer. There's a handful of them down there.
Okay. Okay, so the Buckeye Saints in the NFC. Gotcha. Signature Saint. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, Nick. I'm not ignoring you, brother.
I know.
Always save a good plug for last. Signature Saint. Who represents the NFC and who represents the AFC?
I mean, honestly, I'd like it to be the Bills and the Saints.
So would I.
Okay.
Bills and the Saints, but I mean, it's not us. It's probably going to be Green Bay.
Okay, good. Because I was going to ask that. I was going to, if it's not you,
it's probably going to be Green Bay. And I mean, the Chiefs, they're just unstoppable, I think. But like I said, I'd like to see the Bills and the Saints.
Okay. Okay. Thank you there, sir. And I appreciate you guys coming on camera. Nick, obviously, one last plug for tail greeters, and then you tell me that as well. Give your plug, and then give me your guys.
Thank you. Yeah, tailgreeter.com. Help us make tailgating more accessible to fans all across the world. And as far, I think honestly, it's the Bills to lose. I think they're the hottest team going into the playoffs, so I think Bills end up representing the AFC. And if it's not the Bears, you know what? I think the Seahawks in the playoffs are just a different beast.
Okay. I like that. If not, the Bears. I always love doing that as well. Okay. Yeah, I gotta ask you, Nick. You got Ditka and God. Who wins?
Ditka, of course. Ditka is God. Trick question.
I gotcha. Ditka. God's a close second, but Ditka. I gotcha. Oh.
It's trick question, Captain. Ditka is God.
There you go.
I actually
and because I'm the guy with the heart attack, I'm actually doing the role as well. I'm giving myself CPR. Okay.
I actually missed Ditka being on the CBS sports show there.
Yeah, why is he not on anymore?
I loved when he was on there. He was
the best.
He was. I mean, he just doesn't care what he says. I mean, like Ditka.
He'd be the only analyst picking the Bears this week.
Yeah, he would. He would pick the Bears and Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure that you are either available or make sure you get those other folks that are on your squads here next week, because I want to have a Saint guy, win or lose, obviously a Bear guy, win or lose. Bukdog, you're going to be on anyway because we're going to talk national championship game probably in the second segment after we do the opener. And you can go for Browns unless we got somebody else. I like to spread it around, but get the word out. Crystal, you know you're going to be on next week anyway because I told you you're going to be representing the Saints. And you can bring Denton along as well. And then you got to call my show.
He'll be with Dad next weekend, but I'll make sure that he'll.
Well, he can call my show on an off week and give me the number.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, I'm gonna kick you off again. Thanks for being here and appreciate your time. Again, we know Bukdog and Chris are gonna be back again.
Signature's little boy in the back there.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Get your youngin out here again there, Brian.
Put him to sleep.
Oh, he's out.
Oh, he's out.
Put him to sleep.
And you know what? Jamie was saying that I was too quiet, and he's sleeping through me. Maybe I am quiet.
Oh, that kid will sleep through anything.
Okay.
No, Jamie's just loud.
Well, we got that. Again, folks, thanks again. Appreciate it. Make sure that you tell everybody about the show for this and next week. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys later on.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Good luck with you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, I almost kicked Fred out. I got to kick Crystal out last because she's too pretty. There you go. Oh, and now I got to kick.
He said you're too pretty to kick you out first.
I can bring her back on. Wait a second. I'm bringing her back on so I can kick her out last again. There you go. I
got
apologize.
the boot. I got the boot.
He said, I'm gonna kick
All
him
right.
out last because he's pretty. Then you got
and Bukdog's pretty too. There you go. All right. Let's go back to the brand here. Let's make sure that we are correct. And I'm going to move you. There we go. We are where we're supposed to be. And Fred, I'm not asking you that question until obviously a couple more, because we got to keep it running. We're running the show for that as well. But I know that you got your things on that. And again, and I appreciate you being here, working with me. And I tell you, it's an easy job when I got somebody that has the stats on, and I can just fly off the seat of my pants with good comments, I might add.
Absolutely.
But, the way it is. And I thank you as well. Any last things that you want to talk about before we roll our sponsors again?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody stays healthy. Continue doing the social distancing. Numbers are up in the United States again for Corona. Be sure to wash your hands. Be sure to wear your mask and be safe out there.
Okay. So there we go. We're on sponsors again. I just had them on. Remember, shoesforkids.com. Make sure you tell Jerry Robinson. Go to the website. Tell him Captain Jack sent you. I'm going to go roll through these as well. Remember, you saw my boy Oscar, part of the Bocadillos universe. Make sure you go get your Bocadillo done. And then one of my personal favorites, go to playerscongress.com and give support to the players of old. Remember when football was football.
Yeah, this is Ken Newton Studios. If you're looking for any custom paint work, and he does a lot of, they got some metal work down there too. This Ken Newton's unbelievable. He's right out of Buffalo. Great guy. He does a lot for the football player, Buffalo Bills players, and he can make custom football of your team. It doesn't always necessarily be the Buffalo Bills, but that's Ken Newton Studios. He has a page. You can check him out on Facebook.
I like that bow, and that's why I put him up there.
Yeah, he did all that. Yeah. Statistical Toys, be sure to check them out. Get a figurine if you're a super fan. If you know someone who's a super fan, get your team represented with a Statistical Toys. And then a Seasonal Sports. They do a great job. Any screen printing, embroidery, vinyl work, they do everything. They do backdrops. They do anything that you need. Family owned and operated. I know the family. It's Fred and his wife. They both work every day down there. They do a great job. They're very reasonably priced too. And
eventually, you'll actually see some products on us.
Yes, we will. They're in the process. I know that. But
that wasn't a slight. I know they're busy, but you will see some great products from Seasonal Sports. And finally,
Soulmate Performance Socks. You know, they make any team for you. All 32 NFL teams. Give them a look. And they do a great job. Any style that you want. These guys do a great job. Those are Soulmate Performance Socks.
All right. So we are done with that. Go right back to this. So we got it again. Again, Fred, I appreciate it. Your partner, I'm going to kick ourselves backstage. And I know that you probably want to get something to eat or drink. I didn't have anything to drink all night. So I'm actually going to go get some iced tea. But I thank you, sir. And be ready, obviously, for next week. We're going to talk about the upsets, the things that happen, all those good things. And again, folks, if you want to know what's going on in the NFL, Fred's going to tell you on our show next Friday. And I sit in amazement of all the great things that Fred does. Thank you there, Fred Kilmartin.
Appreciate it.
All right, folks. We'll see you for the Elite Superfan Show next Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Go check out our sponsors, and always keep it PG. I know I'm going to get my hands slapped for not keeping it PG this, but hopefully you guys had a good show, and I'll do some of the comments that we had. There you go. Oscar Toledo, I'm sorry, I forgot that. And obviously, be safe and please wear a mask. Oscar, we're definitely going to get you on, brother. So you get with me. We're going to do that.
Yeah,
there Dick lives in Naples. Rob, talk to him. Maybe he'll be on our show.
Yeah, bring him on.
Maybe he'll be on, and so does Juan. Get them both. Talk to them. You know people. There you go. Thanks again, folks. We will see you next for the Elite Superfan Show. Always a pleasure. My boy, Fred Kilmartin from Bo. We'll see you next Friday. Have a good one.